Hey, good morning. It's 9 a.m. here in Syria, and we are in Homs. Yes, I'm going to show you first. Where are we? Are now. Wow. The level of destruction is unbelievable. I don't even need to say anything. Many of you are familiar with these things. I'm pretty sure this is unfortunately what Syria is famous for these days. This is the old city of Homs. And I'll give you a little bit of information on what Homs is, or used to be. Homs used to be Syria's third largest city, very vibrant. And this is where the uprising against the government started. It's really I just wanted to say that it's really scary to be here. It's like ghost town. It's Friday morning, it's day off. But I think this particular part of the city is the same all the time. So I'll let you see it. It's very cold now here, and winter didn't even start properly, but it's very cold. There's power cut very often. So it's cold, unfriendly, destroyed city. It's abandoned. Look, this is another street. And plus it's raining. We can go anyway. Okay, let's try this. So again, this is what used to be Syria's third largest city. And this is where the uprising against the government started. It was almost 6 years ago, in 2011. And then already in 2011, the government forces started operation against those holding the city. It was in April, May 2011. And then the siege started, and okay, I'll just try to, I don't know. I'll try to find the way through this garbage. Shrapnels, holes from shrapnels and bullets. I'll just try to, I'll just find my way through this. So the siege dragged on into late 2013. The situation was really bad, and those holding the seat at that time, those who were against the government, they were starving, and it was very cold. There was no food, no water, no electricity, no nothing. So the siege was very tough for them, and it lasted like almost 2 years. So they started leaving the city. And then there were several reconciliation processes between them and the government. There were several operations to evacuate civilians, women, children. Our friend, your heart breaks when you see things like this. I remember the government of Homs. They said that Homs now is like Berlin after the Second World War. There is no even point in rebuilding it because he believes it should be leveled and then just maybe they should start from the beginning, from scratch. So because you can't look at these buildings, you can't repair them, or there's no point in repairing it. And it used to be someone's house, you know. There were shops on this street. There were barber shops on this street. Oh, I was about to fall, sorry. This looks like workshop. Yeah, now you can see the rain. Yeah, now I can see the comment. It's like walking through the World War II Berlin Wall. And there is another comment. ISIS did this. It's actually worth a comment because ISIS was not here when the war started. So these were they were called rebels or opposition or fighters or but whoever they were anti-government. They were fighting against the government of Syria. So that would be correct to call them anti-government forces. So they were holding this city, and this is from where there was the epicenter of the uprising, and this is from where it started spreading all across the country. And then the army started offensive. So we can't say that ISIS did this because it was battleground and both sides were taking part. So destruction was caused by both sides. This is the result of the fighting, of months and months and months and months of clashes. To be honest, I hope to meet someone here because I heard people are coming back. They're not coming back because just because it's safe, but just because they don't have any other place to live, and they maybe will not be happy in any other place. This is their home. And I'm here with Dani. Yeah, he was supposed to help me with translation when we meet locals, but we didn't so far meet anybody. Yeah, maybe I can interview you. Yeah. So yeah, just could you introduce yourself a little bit?
Firstly, my name is Dani Mackey, and I'm Syrian who was born in the UK. I do a lot of work on commentary in Syria, journalism, and analysis on the Syria conflict. I do a lot of work on the ground as well. in Aleppo, and now we're in Homs.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? How do you feel as a Syrian? How do you feel about this? Like,
I mean, as a Syrian, it's heartbreaking to look at this. I mean, you've got basically areas that have been completely flattened and destroyed because of the war. And the situation in Homs is quite similar to what's happening now in Aleppo.
that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
A lot of the militants have left here, they've gone elsewhere, and as you can see, the city's now in government control. But you don't have the stream of civilians who have returned, which you'd expect.
You don't have actually anything to control.
It's basically destruction everywhere, and it shows you this is one of the most intense areas of the war. I mean, Homs was very heavily fought over. And you can tell by the ruins and the bullet holes and the shelling here that it is very vicious fighting. This is essentially the centre. This is the centre of the Syrian insurgency and the uprising.
It looks a little bit surreal, isn't it? It's like
a ghost town.
Like a ghost town, but at the same, it's unbelievable. But at the same time, I think most of you got used to these pictures, right? It's like when you say Homs, this is the picture that you have in your mind.
What comes to mind?
Yeah.
When you say parts of Aleppo, you've got cars that have been destroyed and flattened.
Oh yeah, this is the car. I didn't even realize that this is the car.
Look at these houses. They're beautiful houses. I mean,
Absolutely.
the best houses in Syria. They've been absolutely ruined. And a lot of these areas have been used as kind of front lines by the militants when they were here.
And I guess it used to be home to like rich people, right?
Rich people, hundreds of thousands. I mean, the old city of Homs, which is part of
Oh.
Syria right now.
Wait a second. They say that they can't hear you because, yeah. Okay, let me do like this. They say they can't hear you.
That should be better.
Okay,
Hopefully
now we have Danny with us. I'm not sure that we had him before. So, yeah, let's just...
I'll restart this then.
Yeah, you can... I'm not sure how good was that.
So
Where
hello
is the United
again.
Nations now?
Wherever you are.
Where are the NGOs and where are the such countries who always shout for humanity? This is the question
They're not
we
here
all
at the
ask.
moment.
Yeah, they're not here.
No one's here.
Definitely not here. You know, you can see it's abandoned. All the civilians left. All the militants left, which is good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, not even dog. We no birds, no nothing, just rain and ruins. And Danny.
And
me.
Danny's here.
Yeah.
Danny's here.
Hi, Danny. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm very good, thanks. So for those who didn't hear me the first time round, I'm a Syrian commentator and analyst. I do a lot of work on the ground here, mainly diplomatic and political, but from time to time you can see me in some sort of front line in Aleppo or in Homs or Damascus. And this area has probably been more ruined and battered than any other area in Syria, barring Aleppo, because right now we're basically the heartland of what was the Syrian insurgency. The whole armed groups concept, or the Jabhat al-Nusra, everything literally started here. This is where the whole Syrian war kicked off, and you can tell by the masses of shelling and damage here. It's pretty horrific, to be honest.
And I saw the comment. We are live now, and we received comments. And someone said that ISIS did that, but I thought it's very important to say that this is the battleground. So all the sides were involved. It's not just one side did this, and it lasted for months and months and months. So it wouldn't be fair to say that ISIS did that or the government did that. This is the battleground. So
and you've got to remember as well, this was at a time when ISIS wasn't really
yeah,
huge.
there, yeah.
And a lot of the destruction here was done by so-called moderate rebels,
Yeah.
rebels which were so-called liberal and secular. And it shows you that the end product, the damage, is always the same. It means destruction, buildings being destroyed, people's houses going. And if you can look here, hundreds of thousands of people used to live here, and now there's
the old city used to be home to 300,000, if I'm not mistaken, and Homs, is Syria's third largest city. I think it was around. Do you remember what's that? Like
it was. It's actually Syria's largest province.
Yeah, it was. No, how many people live here? Used to live in Homs. I know in the old city where we are now, it's like 300,000.
300,000,
Yeah.
I mean, Homs has borders with Jordan, with Lebanon, with Iraq. It's literally the most open. It controls the whole of central Syria. So you can see why this was so strategically important for the militants, and it was important for the government to retake it.
And where is the people now? Are they asking me?
Most of the people have either fled, they're either internally displaced in government-held areas, or they've left for refugee camps abroad. And not a lot of people have returned because...
Half of the population of Syria left.
Yes, exactly.
Like millions of people, millions. And this is another car right here.
There's a bird.
Yeah,
First sign of life.
first sign of life. And yeah, the same bird.
And, you know, civilians returning here, what would they return to?
Yeah.
Houses destroyed, no water.
No water, no electricity,
And
no
you can see the
nothing.
water pipes on the floor there. How can you
Yeah,
put
these
that
are
back
water
into use?
pipes.
It's impossible to put that all back into use. And there's a math book.
What's that?
It's a math
Math
textbook.
book. But I guess people, they came back just to grab, you know, maybe something like
What's left
what's left.
of their belongings there?
Anybody? No, like,
No one at all.
that was just an attempt, you know. The level of destruction is unbelievable, you know, unbelievable. Do you remember Homs before war?
I remember I've been to Homs before the war. It was beautiful. And you look at now, it's completely different to how it was before. I mean, this is like the center of Homs is the center of a main city in Europe. It's like the center of Lyon or the center of Manchester. Homs is literally, I think, the third, after Aleppo, most important city in the whole of Syria. And to have one of the core cities, a kind of core economic, industrial hub, a social hub as well, where all sects live together, is pretty shocking.
Yes, I remember there are many, you can see many minarets, and there were churches here. They were
Homs is one of the only
Muslims
places.
and Christians used to live in
Muslims,
harmony here, yeah.
Christians. It's somewhere where a lot of them have actually fought side by side with each other and died side by side with each other as well. And everywhere you go, it's just cars, just ruin and destruction.
Is the people safe? Funny, Hakka asking me. Those who left, yes, they are safe, but of course.
But it's not just about that, it's about making sure that how you get these areas back into use, how you...
I think it's, yeah, this is something I mentioned earlier. The governor of Homs, he said that there is no point in repairing it because you just have to level it and
I mean, see,
rebuild it from scratch.
that's incorrect, because you see areas such as here, you can repair this. It's not destroyed from the very kind of center of the building. You don't have to level everything.
You think
areas,
so?
There are areas which are softer, areas which have to be completely destroyed in order to be rebuilt. You see, Allahu Akbar.
This is Allahu Akbar.
Shahada wa Nasr. This is all of the slogans that the militants used to use. Saying Allahu Akbar. And
They didn't even paint it over.
yeah, and
What is this? This is something.
another two cars, if you see here. It's absolutely ruined.
And this is Friday. It's a day off and the holy day for all Muslims. And I can hear prayers.
So a lot of
It
people,
also, sorry to interrupt you. Oh, another bird. It's gone. Wow.
a lot of people saying that the fate of Aleppo will be similar to the fate of Homs.
Yes,
And
yes.
that not a lot of people are going to return. People have been evacuated. The city's under government control. And I think in Aleppo this is incorrect. Aleppo is very different from Homs. Homs is an area where it was at the start of the conflict. A lot of people didn't have their minds made up. A lot of people made early decisions to support this side or the other. But in Aleppo, after 6 years, I think a lot of the people who have left Aleppo might return, especially given the fact that there's a reconciliation option the reconciliations which have happened in Homs at the time of the city falling here and being given to the government are very weak. They're not as strong as what's happening now. So if a lot of these people were given the opportunity to return now, I think some of them would, if they had guarantees in these areas. But you'd have to have a full reconciliation project. You'd have to rebuild a lot of these different areas. And that's something which is logistically very difficult as well.
Tarek was here, look. And you can see holes in holes in the walls. It was the hardest thing, you know. It was really hard to find militants that were here hiding inside the city. They were making these holes. Oh, here we can't see it. This is someone's house. I think they will forgive me. And you can see it used to be, I mean, these houses, very beautiful.
Go ahead, go right.
Okay. So for those who just joined, we're in Homs, once Syria's third largest city. This is where the uprising against the government started, and this is from where it started spreading all this destruction, this virus. It's abandoned now because I think the last operation was here like in 2014. Yeah, and then there were several reconciliation missions and evacuation missions, but yeah, fighting. Intense
fighting. I mean,
it was in 2014.
Street to street fighting, house to house fighting. It was like Stalingrad. It was literally block to block warfare. That's why the destruction is so significant and huge, because you're fighting someone who's not standing, a kilometre away.
Oh yeah.
They're standing literally 5 to 10 meters at the best of times. So it was very intense. You can see.
Yeah, and you can see like sniper positions here, like this. Yeah, we're hoping to meet someone here.
We're hoping to.
Who's that? Over there.
I think that's smoking.
Our crew. Yeah, this is our crew there. So apparently we are the only living, breathing creatures here. Wow. But do you maybe I don't know? Do you think they can film movies here in this
I think
place?
they can, at the moment they probably could if they got permission, because.
But I mean, just send a message to the outside world. It would be great through Hollywood movie.
I'm sure that's a very good idea, definitely, because.
No, but not just to save money or something, but just to send the message. Okay, look, this is real city. This is the reality. These are not decorations, nothing. Just this is real. We Westerners really need to rein in our government so they add fuel to the fire. Can't agree more. Oh, I can see the car. And that looks like a very big, yeah, this is the main mosque.
Which is being repaired at the moment.
Yeah, I can see. It's not, it's very beautiful, and it's a big one.
So this is the hub of basically where everything started off. That main mosque was one of the last areas in the old city of Homs which fell. And one of the reasons why it was shelled is because a lot of the militants were piled up in there days before the city fell. This is the Chaldea neighborhood. And In addition to what you're saying in terms of Hollywood and the way the war is now, this is a result of policy. This is governments which help to encourage this violence here, which is happening today. If this destruction, if you look at it now, a lot of it would not have happened if countries, and I don't mean just to say the West, but all of the countries in general involved in Syria, had a de-escalation process or de-escalation policy where they didn't want the situation to become as bad as it is. But a lot of the people fighting in Homs from the rebel side were told, to continue fighting by the West. And in the end, as you see now, they were abandoned. And no one came to help them. There was no intervention.
And I don't even, I don't see lessons to be learned, to be honest, because this is exactly what happened to Homs is actually what now happening to Aleppo in Syria's north. It's the same, yeah, almost same situation. But just the anti-government side became more radical.
Much more radical,
yeah. Yeah, and more like it's more of a religious motivation. Yeah, and they have better weapons. That's true. So, and it started, yeah, rain. Yeah, there was a car there. Pray for all the people from Homs. That's true. This is the only option we have, to pray for these people. Some of them left to Canada. Some of them go to neighboring countries like Jordan, like Lebanon. Lebanon is there's a very interesting situation with Lebanon because the country with a population of 4 million people embraced millions of refugees. So it's like same number of people. It's like double population now.
If you look towards this side here, see the rocks and the stones?
Yeah.
That's very old.
That's
yeah,
I
traditional Homs.
Centuries old,
yeah,
I guess.
Centuries. It's very old. And one of the reasons, if you look at the differences between the other modern bricks in the building, they're much easily destroyed rather than this, which has been very strong. And it's managed to survive a lot of bullet holes. If you see that wall, it's almost untouched, parts of it. And you've got the example of here as well, which shows you one of the reasons, I think, further in advance, you'll find more of these types of walls here, which have been, literally hundreds of years old. One of the reasons is that they're much easier to take positions in from a rebel perspective. You can hide in one of these buildings
because it's solid.
Because it's very solid. Look at
yeah, they look intact.
It's much easier to use as a defensive position, which is why Homs took such a long time to retake. It's 2012 to 14. It's 2 years.
Sorry to interrupt you. I have a message from a Syrian. We are Syrians and we're going to rebuild it. So, that is fantastic. I mean, to see how optimistic people still are here in Syria after almost 6 years of devastating war. Who's that? This is the, I think, our crew. But still they say, like, we're going to rebuild, we're going to rise up. Wow. Okay. I was very naive to think we can meet someone. Is this guy a local? I think I think you didn't mention you didn't say that you were from Syria.
I'm from Syria. I'm originally from Damascus, but I was born in London. But I've lived out of the last 6 years of the war in Syria, I've lived 2.5 years in Syria. So I guess I'm definitely a local, British Syrian. But I've got a lot of experience in this country, and it's heartbreaking to see areas like this. But when you hear comments like, we will rebuild Syria, we will rebuild Homs, it does inspire you because it shows the Syrian population are very resilient. They're very innovative and creative and dynamic, and they're people who you think in the future will definitely be able to rebuild their country. Everyone talks about reconstruction, but at the end of the day, these areas, this destruction here, the only person or the people who are going to rebuild it will be Syrians from their own pockets, their own money, because it's their country. No one's going to love their country more than themselves.
That's true. That's so true.
James Jones now knows everything about you. His accent is British, but he looks Syrian. But, yeah, because he is Syrian.
And the hat doesn't help. I'm Syrian,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm also British at the same time.
see?
So it's the Syrian.
And there is
version.
no any contradiction here.
There's no contradiction at all. It's completely normal.
How do you fix the internet? Yeah, I have to say that we are on 3G, and actually it's quite, yeah, it's quite well, you know, like we'll stream live. Yeah, let's go there. Is there people still joining us? There should be more broadcast interviews with English-speaking locals to humanize the people from there. Did you hear that, Danny? I can't agree more. And this is what we're trying. Actually, we can't find people here at all. Arabic or English speaking. This area is abandoned. We are now in Homs, in what's known as the Old City. And it's not for nothing that they call it the Old City, because it's really, really old, century old. Crac de Chevalier, just next to UNESCO heritage site. Hey, I got a comment from someone saying that we have to interview more people locals speaking English to humanize, you know, population. Because they think, yeah, people think that you guys are wild and barbaric and, you know, living in the desert.
Yeah. They don't know that Syria is one of the most civilized countries in history.
Exactly. Or even, you know, I mean, they say cradle of civilization. Because in the north, this triangle where Turkey, Iraq, and Syria meet used to be Mesopotamia, right?
The cradle of civilization.
Cradle of civilization. So these people, anything but barbaric. But it looks like they took the garbage out of the houses, right? Because it's all these piles, they're on the street. Apparently they cleared it. They tried to clear it, right?
I mean, they tried to open passageways through the left and the right so that people could get to their houses. Because
It may look like the beginning of, you know, something like reconstruction. It's genocide. Be careful. Be careful. This woman is European.
is European.
I don't know. It probably was about me. I'm Russian. Yeah, these are the holes about. So it was.